I guess I'm gonna have to tag the song after it, but I just told my whole story and it didn't pick it up. I don't know what it's doing, but whenever I was 2 or 3, I had this babysitter. I'm telling my childhood SA story. But yeah, I had this babysitter, and I guess she had friends over one time with her or something. I think it was December, because my friend that I don't talk to but lives in the same town as me was with, and it happened to her. I don't really know what happened exactly. I don't know. I just know, because we had a dog. We had Pomeranians, and we got rid of the puppies, and I was like, oh, we're gonna go get the puppies? You know, like, I don't know, I was a kid. I was a toddler. Excuse me. And then I remember coming back, and it burned to go to the bathroom, and I was crying and screaming. My mom took me to the doctor, and the doctor was like, we can't find any evidence of it, which doesn't mean that it didn't happen, because I know it happened because of how I felt afterwards. My mom fired that babysitter, but according to my dad, she got used her again a few weeks later, but that didn't happen. My mom said it didn't happen. She didn't use her ever again. My dad had said, though, he was a drunk back then. He had said, though, when I was a teenager about that, he was like, I wish I would have found the guy and beat him up, or, called the cops or something. And then turns around and laughs at me, mocks me, and makes fun of me for when there was a student teacher who preyed on me when I was 18. He was 23. He knew I had a crush on him because my teacher told him. And then I'm gonna plug in my phone, actually. Hold on. Oh, there's people over there that are leaving. I could have I don't know. I'm trying to get this to where it's fine, just like that, it's fine. It's so annoying. Go away. They are going away, but it's like they have to be loud about it. Alright, stop. For the love of God! Grr. This is a triggering thing to talk about, and everything's being annoying. So, okay, yeah. Yeah, but that teacher also, like, he gave me my first French kiss, and I was like, I don't even know how to do that. And he just talked to me about my SH. You know what I'm talking about. The harm that whatever. I used to do that. It'll be 7 years? 7 years this June 13th that I have not done that. That I have been clean from that. From SH. And yeah. He acted like he wanted to help me through that and everything, and he was just preying on me, because, like, I guess he had other girlfriends, but I wasn't his girlfriend. But I chased him. I called him all the time, and then I even went into his house, because he lived with his adopted parents. I went inside his house. His mom was there and was like, well, but she was like, he's not here or something, or maybe she's like, he's sleeping, I don't know. I had a note for him, and I tried to sneak in, and she's like, what? Oh. So that's how messed up that was. Also, I found out years later, like when I moved to Manhattan, and I had a girl that I went to school with, was in my same grade. She told me that happened to her too, that he did the same thing to her. So that's awesome. Not. And then, okay, when I was 15, I did this detasseling. I'm pretty sure I told this story before too, but it's okay. I'll tell it again. I don't know if you know what detasseling is. It's basically you go through the cornfields and pull out a specific part of like the corn stalk. And a lot of teenagers do that for the summer here and make like good money that way. And so I did that. I was 15, and our crew leader was a fucking sicko because he stopped with one of the other girls in our group, and we were like, what is he doing back there? What are they doing back there? And we didn't know. And apparently he had been doing something to her. And she came after she ran out of the field, and we were like, what the fuck, you know? And then like he came up to me, and he was like using the part of the corn stalk, and he was gonna try to poke me with it. And I was like, the fuck? But I was kind of protective of the other girls because I was like staying behind to keep him from going up there to them. But I guess like, okay, so when I told my dad and ex-stepmother, you know, they and like the leaders of the people we worked for, they were like, oh, you don't have to come in tomorrow, you know, like you could take a few days off. And then like they fired that guy, that boy, and like his siblings and stuff still were there, and they kept like they would bully me, not physically, but they'd be like, it's your fault that he got fired, blah 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 blah. My fault because he wanted to be a fucking creep. My fault that he was a creep. So there's that. It didn't happen to me, but it feels almost dead, and it's just it's crazy how my dad and ex-stepmother believed me about that, but they didn't believe me over the student teacher when he called him, and he's like, she's just obsessed with me. She's just obsessed with me. Like, and then when I got upset and when they believed him, I got upset, cried, running up to my room. My dad was like, oh, boo, get over it, or whatever the fuck he said. What a douchebag. What kind of father, dude? Seriously, that's why I can't talk to my dad, because you know what? He is a terrible father. He didn't want to have kids in the first place. If he didn't, he should have got a fucking vasectomy before having me, not after. I'm glad I exist. Honestly, that's crazy that I could say that, but I'm glad I exist. But like, fuck him and his father wound. Okay, but the weird thing is the other day, his fucking dad, my grandpa, woke me up. I guess he probably is the one that's been doing that, but this is the first time I heard it in his voice. He said my birth name. So, anyways, that's my story. I also, with my cousins, their adopted cousins or step cousins, when I was like 5 or 6, we were all gonna, do it, and we were all so young, but it's because we all went through that child SA, and luckily we didn't, because that would have been like extra trauma, you know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, anyways, that's my story, and I'm gonna try to probably tag that sound that helps or whatever in this. So yeah, thank you for listening if you watched this whole thing. And I'm going to put a huge trigger warning so that you know what this is. So